the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the New York Knicks. For New York, they've had a tough time over the last few weeks, 3-7 in their last 10 games. We'll see if they can make amends tonight. So many teams playing at a faster pace nowadays. Tonight, though, Kenny, we see lots of half-court sets.
Yeah, because it takes craft to run an offense in the half court. You just can't run up and down and jack shots up. This is winning time, half-court basketball. And you find them matchups and you exploit them, Ernie.
And you have to remain patient. You have to remember, Ernie, it's chess, not checkers.
What were you better at, chess or checkers?
Checkers.
Have you played chess?
Never.
King me.
That's checkers.
Checkmate.
Checkmate. Checkmate.
That's chess.
Yeah. It's just checking. Make sure you knew.
Checking, get it?
No.
Checkmate, checking?
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel very stupid. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Alongside Greg Anthony and Steve Smith with David Aldridge on the sideline, this is Kevin Harlan. The Detroit Pistons come into this one following a loss, guys, to Phoenix. You know, guys, you hate to get embarrassed on your home court, but that's exactly what happened. It was a tough loss for them.
Yeah, guys, they were forcing it a bit in that one and shot a relatively low percentage because of it.
But you have to give them credit for being aggressive. The problem is they played too much hero ball. You have to be willing to make the extra pass.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Thank you very much. Now, Blake Griffin is new to Detroit, but he feels the blue-collar nature of this city suits him just fine. He said, hard work was instilled in me at a very young age. The very base of my game has always been physical. Guys, back to you.
Well, Detroit is happy to have him, David. Thanks. In the early part of the season, Steve, if the chemistry isn't working, what can you do to try to fix that chemistry issue?
Obviously, the general manager and the coaches, this is where they have to be communicating amongst one another, and they have to have a great feel, because if it's not working, and this is where you have to look at maybe benching some guys or possibly trading somebody. But that's where communication comes in. You got to have it from management to coaching to players.
Players want to know, don't they? They don't want to be left in the dark. At least they want to know the lay of the land for them.
Most of the great organizations, the communication's out front, and that's what players love. They love the trust factor from management to coaches to organizations.
And now the New York Knicks starters. Ntilikina and Lee are in the backcourt. Enes Kanter is out there with Van. And it's Thomas in at the 3 spot. Now Jackson. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Reggie Jackson, a great season and a half spent in Detroit. Since that time, injuries have slowed him down.
And Jackson dealing with knee tendonitis, Steve, then last season a serious ankle sprain.
Grade 3, as bad as it gets. One of the league's most imposing point guards. He's got to be right, though.
That free throw missing.
In the past, Detroit put Andre Drummond in the middle, surrounded him with shooters. With Griffin in the fold, more of a classic front court pairing for the Pistons.
And he's good on the second. Steve, the Pistons, 4 shooters, 1 big man model. Much more common nowadays.
Yeah, well, the Pistons can stagger Drummond and Griffin's minutes to get more shooting on the floor. Even playing together, I think they complement each other pretty well.
And one area where Ntilikina excels, really good reading the defense and realizing what to do in that set.
Now here's Griffin. He's coming off a 31-point game against Phoenix.
We also got to mention what he did on the defensive end. Racked up a number of steals, too.
Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Jackson. From 12 feet out, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Ntilikina's got his second basket of the night. Jackson looking around. And another 3 for Detroit.
You know, a little inconsistent from deep when he first entered the league. Jackson now an emerging three-point threat.
Ntilikina kicks to Cantor. It's Vonleh atop the key. The shot misses. Griffin with some nice D. Knocked loose. Stolen by Cantor. Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Jackson. Ntilikina passes to Lee. Clock at 6. And the foul on Glenn Robinson. That's his first foul. Lee kicks to Vonleh. Pass to Lee. Just 5 on the clock. Lets the 3 fly. Griffin gets a hand on it.
Griffin has great timing. That's the reason why he blocked that shot.
The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Here's Ntilikina. Last game he had 12. Lee finds Cantor. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Lee. Up again, and Cantor able to finish.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Here's Ntilikina. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. And Vonleh has it in the corner. Cantor. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Yeah, just a fantastic job to stay with the play and just not give up. Excellent effort on the offensive backboard.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. He dishes it to Griffin. And that one is off. The Knicks go the other way with it. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and this game kicks off a 4-game season series between the two teams.
Looking forward to seeing these two franchises square off in what should be a thrilling first game.
Now, here is Robinson, following the missed shot by Noah Vonleh. Robinson against Thomas. A floater, and Robinson with the layup. Robinson's got his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, going to the floater right there. That was pretty.
Ntilikina passes to Lee. Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Jackson. Ntilikina kicks to Vonleh. Here's Lee. It's deflected. They recover it. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Pistons leading by 3. Outside Jackson. The pass to Drummond. Griffin's shot is off.
How does he miss that layup? He's too good to be doing that.
Here's Ntilikina to the left side wing. Thomas kicks to Vonleh. Passes to Ntilikina. Shot clock at 6. Griffin with the steal. Shot from 12. And Detroit again with the bucket.
He's been locked in all quarter, really finding his rhythm.
Ntilikina passes to Kanter. Thomas outside. And it's Griffin with the rebound. For Detroit, they've gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. Lets it go with the 3. Looks good, is good. Bucket number 4 from the field. He's taken only 6 shots.
The new head coach of Detroit is Dwayne Casey. They're lucky he was available. He guided the Raptors to a franchise best 59 wins last season, and he was the coach of the year.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. And it goes to show you that any coach can get fired. Casey, one of the most successful, highly regarded coaches in the league, and Smitty still got let go.
If you learn about all he's overcome, all the tough jobs he's worked in the past, you knew he'd take it on the chin and keep on trucking.
Here's Ntilikina. And the call will be against Langston Galloway. That is his first foul of the game. Smith checked in for Jackson. And then for New York, Hezonja, he's checked in for Thomas. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Courtney Lee. Pass to Ntilikina. Griffin with the steal. Pass break Detroit. Griffin leading the charge. The feet to Robinson. Kicks it to Galloway. Outside Robinson. Up top Griffin. 5 on the clock. Here's Galloway. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. To the inside, Kanter, and Kanter throws it down.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Not only does that dunk help in cutting into this lead, but it gives this team a real confidence boost, too.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
Hezonja kicks to Ntilikina. There's the triple. Griffin grabs the board. And here's Griffin. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. 8-point game.
Man, hard to believe. Already they're staring at a double-digit lead, and we've just gotten started.
Fantastic effort. Right out of the gate, simply overwhelming their opponent.
Pass to Ntilikina. Jacks up a 3. Rebound by the Pistons. A shot by Griffin. Nobody around. And it's off the back rim. No good. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That is his first foul of the game. So for the Pistons, Pachulia comes in for Andre Drummond. And it's Reggie Bullock in for Langston Galloway. And New York with a change here too. Burks has checked in. Shoots a fader. Hezonja's shot is off. Detroit leading by 10. Smith up top. Burke covering. Outside Robinson. There's the 3. Drills it from outside. Robinson's got 5.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Hardaway finds Kanter. Now here's Burke. Pachulia covering. To end the run. Excellent D there from Pachulia. Detroit's gone 4 of 5 from three-point land to get things going here in the first. And Trey Burke gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. John Lure, he's checked in for Detroit.
John Lure.
Robinson kicks to Lure. The pass to Pachulia. Out to the wing. 6 on the shot clock. Bullock passes to Lure. Detroit needs to get off a shot here, but they get it back. Here's Pachulia. Good on the 13-footer. Pachulia's got his first points of the game.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
New York calls timeout. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Detroit.
And when you look at that chart, concentrate for a second on what they're not doing. They're not getting a lot of threes from the corners. That's something that has to change. Makes it much easier to defend the team when you know they can't score from the corner.
Because he's inconsistent from range, the defense dares him to take that shot. Bad gamble there.
Smith finds Pachulia. Knocked loose. Here's Bullock. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And from the opening tip, they have been in complete control of this one.
Dominate on the court, and it's showing up on the scoreboard. Let's see if they can maintain this level of intensity.
And now, here's Hazonia. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Now, here is Smith. Burke covering. And Enes Kanter picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.
Here's Pachulia. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Smith kicks to Lure. Here's Bullock. Connects from three-point range. Bullock's got 5.
And the defense is in disbelief here. Triple after triple.
Outside Hardaway. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Here's Bullock. Smith trying to break loose. And it's Bullock missing.
In over his head on the layup attempt there. Too much defensive pressure.
Right wing. Now here's Burke. Defense right on him. Outside Hardaway. And that one drops. He's got 5.
Oh, he had him spinning. He looks like he's dizzy after that crossover.
Passes it to Pachulia. Back to Smith. That one doesn't drop. Now the Knicks take it the other way. Burke with it. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Back to Kanter. He kicks it to Vonleh. Over Lure. And too long on the shot.
He can't get anything to fall this quarter. And obviously that's dragging the whole team down.
Here's Bullock. It drops for his third basket. He's missed only 1 shot. Knicks trail by 17. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Outside Hardaway. Some nice passing by New York here. Now here's Burke. We're covering. And here is Robinson. 9 points last game. Here's Smith. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. The Pistons on top, leading by 17. Live from Little Caesars Arena, you're watching 2K Sports. One of the most dominant big men in the league, Andre Drummond, says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, you know, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And the Pistons have been rolling right along, haven't they?
I mean, through one, you have to like the effort, especially on that defensive end.
There are several ways, as you know, to take control of a game. Getting stops is one of them.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for the Knicks, Thomas is out there with Enes Kanter. Then there's Trey Burke. Then there's Hardaway. And it's Baker in at the 2 spot. The free throw drops for Pachulia. Steve, we know plenty of NBA players who are still inconsistent at the free throw line. Just how much of a skill issue is free throw shooting and how much is mental?
You know, I think for a lot of guys that are up in size, just being able to shoot the basketball. I tried it shooting a volleyball when your hands are so big, and that is tough, and that's a skill. But then I see a lot of guys mentally, you can tell is bothering them because they change their routine from year after year. They keep finding different ways. They have to get comfortable, put in the work, and just stick to it. I think they go to too many different these shooting coaches saying, I have a quick fix, and usually it doesn't work, the quick fix.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. Here's Smith. The Knicks making the shot. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Now, here's Bullock. Defense is right there. Let's go. And it's Smith missing. For the New York Knicks, they come into this one following a loss to the Grizzlies of Memphis. Baker, no good.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
If you give it to him, he'll take that shot every time down the floor. I'm sure he's kicking himself.
And already his third foul. It's got to be time to get him out of there probably until the third quarter.
Courtney Lee, he's checked in for New York. Moutier comes in for Burke. A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. It's stolen by Moutier. And here we go. Fast break. Moutier's got it. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
New York shooting their first free throw of the evening.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And still trying to find his footing in the league. Moutier must show improvement in his shooting moving forward.
Now here is Smith. No points in the game yet for him. Pachulia with it. Kanter covering. There's Jackson with the 3. Doesn't go for him. So New York will take it the other way.
You know what, I'll tell you, he's got nothing here in the second quarter after just one made shot in the first.
Moutier passes to Kanter. Pass to Baker. Clock at 6. The 11-footer, and the jumper is on the mark. Baker's got his second basket.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Pachulia. There's the dish to Bullock. To stop the drought, count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
How about the concentration? He gets hit but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Well, with Reggie Bullock showing himself to be a terrific secondary scorer.
Doesn't try to do too much, hardly ever turns it over. He's gotten better at attacking and creating for himself and his teammates.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Detroit. Langston Galloway comes in for Smith. And the free throw, no good. Enzo Thomas will bring it up for the New York Knicks. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. Here's Moutier. Bullock with the rebound.
He was all alone. Looks like he gets a little too relaxed. He has to maintain his focus.
And that one drops for him. Bullock's got 11 points.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
It's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
The Pistons making a change here. Griffin's checked in. The inside. He's guarded by Bullock. Baker kicks to Moutier. Over Jackson. New York, no good that time either.
When you defend a good mid-range shooter, this is how you contest without fouling.
And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Here's a chance now to check out the New York Knicks' upcoming schedule. On Wednesday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. And then on Saturday, they'll be playing against LaMarcus Aldridge and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And for that matchup with the Wizards, it's going to be a bit of a measuring stick for them. See just how they stack up with a team that most would feel has the edge.
Now here's Griffin, following the miss by Emmanuel Moutier. Here's Bullock. The three-pointer off the mark. Now here's Moutier, guarded by Jackson. Baker. Thomas trying to break loose. That one's in there. The Detroit lead is cut to just 11 points, and the basket from Baker. Detroit's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the three-point shot tonight. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Drummond trying to get himself free. Banked in off the glass. 16 points for Blake Griffin.
Usually you wouldn't want your big man to do that, but Griffin is no ordinary forward.
Thomas finds Canner. Lee outside. Lets it go from the wing. Detroit with the rebound. Griffin's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Galloway. No good with the triple. Knicks trail by 13. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Baker passes to Moutier. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Galloway. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Griffin kicks to Bullock. Outside Griffin. 6 to shoot. And finished off by Griffin.
Griffin is just fearless. I mean, a guy who is not scared of anything. That was ridiculous.
And that last replay, courtesy of the Under Armour Hover Havoc, unleashing a little bit of chaos. Here's Baker. 6 points for him. Back to Moutier. A floater. Unable to get that one. Good D by Drummond.
You know, a little off his game this quarter. Still trying to find a rhythm, though.
Here's Galloway. Tries again. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
You see this time and time again. Teams looking to foul Drummond. They are betting he will not make his free throws.
Detroit shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
That free throw, no good. And Andre Drummond, an incredible combination of size and athleticism. Steve, any players that he reminds you of?
You know, a young Dwight Howard. He's also been compared to a more athletic Moses Malone. Drummond's rebounding numbers back that up.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Vonleh's checked in for Enes Kanter. And Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Baker. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Well, Steve, we have a viewer question that has come in here. It's Randy from Texas. And let me see if I can. Oh, he says, what's your favorite basketball movie?
The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, Kevin. That's my favorite basketball movie. And there's a lot of them.
Is it really?
But I would say that was probably number one for me.
No kidding. And Detroit has possession. The Knicks making the shot.
Good eyes by Drummond. He's working on this. Spots the open man, delivers the dime.
Knicks trail by 15. Moutier looking around. Right side, Thomas. Back to Lee. 6 to shoot. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That's his first foul. Detroit making a switch here. Robinson's checked in. Mario Hezonja's checked in for New York. Now here's Moutier. 8 points his last outing. Poke loose. Shot clock at 5. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
He wants to help his team, but when you're in position to finish, it's hard to turn that down.
Here's Ntilikina. He has 6. Here's Galloway. And Griffin, here we go. That's off, his 4th miss in 13 attempts. Here's Ntilikina. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. And last season, LeBron said that the Knicks made a mistake passing on Dennis Smith Jr. in the draft. Of course, they took Frank Ntilikina out of France.
Yeah, a little shade thrown Ntilikina's way last season. Of course, he's one of the youngest players in that draft, and so plenty of time for this young man to fulfill his potential.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. Well, we're always talking now about the modern super teams, whether they're a good thing or they're bad for the game. But the counter is that we've always had super teams at one time or another. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think we've always had super teams, Kevin. You look back at the Lakers with Magic and Kareem and Worthy. Those is kind of like a big three. And you look at the Celtics back in the day with McHale, Bird, Parrish, those guys. I think right now what you're looking at is we haven't seen where MVPs go join other MVPs. That's where it's been the change right now. Now you're seeing the super teams. That's why I think it's changed.
You know, and Reggie Jackson, a really solid first season and a half in Detroit, but the last 2 seasons, injuries have really held him back.
The free throw drops for Jackson. And Reggie Jackson in 2016-17 battling knee tendonitis. Last season, Greg, a severe right ankle sprain.
I mean, he's so important in terms of his impact for the Pistons. An athletic, physical player. When he's right, he can be a difference maker on both ends.
He doesn't get the second one.
And not too long ago, Reggie Jackson signed a 5-year, $80 million deal. A lot of pressure on him to earn that money.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
Kicks to Robinson. The Pistons working the ball around now. Drummond finds Griffin. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
He's been this way all evening. You can see it in Griffin's eyes. He has scoring on his mind.
Knicks trail by 14. Moutier passes to Vonleh. Hazonia with the ball. Defended by Drummond. One-on-one fast break. Robinson, that's good. Robinson's got 7 points. And it's Moutier with the ball. He brings it up for the Knicks. And they're off to Philadelphia after this game as they'll take on the 76ers. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. Here's Hazonia. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
And that's the kind of move that will always pay off, even against tight defense like he was facing on that possession.
Pass to Drummond. Outside Griffin. Over Thomas. Griffin's shot is off. Knicks trail by 14. Now Hazonia. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. The pass to Ntilikina. He kicks it to Vonleh. Off target from outside.
You want to talk about ugly? This team is losing, partly because he hasn't drained a shot all night.
Now here's Moutier, guarded by Jackson. Hazonia, the pass to Ntilikina. Now Moutier over Jackson. Moutier, no good.
His lack of consistency with his shot tonight, it's held him back.
Jackson, that's good. Knicks trail by 16. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Hazonia kicks to Vonleh. Back to Hazonia. 5 to shoot. From 15 feet away.
Loose ball. Loose ball. Going the other way.
First personal foul.
Ish Smith, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for the Knicks. Burke comes in for Emmanuel Moutier. Pistons leading by 16. Smith finds Robinson. To the paint. Got a piece of it. And here we go. Fast break. Burke's got it. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Detroit's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Smith surveying the D. Drummond dishes to Griffin. Over Thomas. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
Excellent assist there. Just led him to the perfect spot.
Smith, the pass to Drummond. Dishes it to Griffin. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Well, if you wonder why they're in control of this game, just look at his stats from the field. Solid, solid, solid.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Pachulia comes in for Drummond. And Lewis subbed in for Langston Galloway.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Knicks trail by 17. Hardaway kicks to Vonleh. We've got 28 seconds left in the first half. Just 5 to shoot. Unloads. And Pachulia pulls it down. Pachulia's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
I'll tell you, he just hasn't been able to get it done on the offensive end. It's kind of dragged down the team.
Here's Griffin. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Pistons lead by 19.
And this is how Pachulia gets a lot of his points. Crashing the glass.
And so it's the Detroit Pistons with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, big first half, a lot of energy. What are you guys doing differently tonight?
Well, the active fans on the defensive end really got us all hyped up. And, it translates to the offensive end as well, too. So, we're looking real good right now. We just got to put it together in the second half, too.
Transition really working well for you in the first half, Andre. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter was all about Blake Griffin. He had 25 points, 2 steals, and 1 block. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, they went downtown and threw a party, and fortunately, we were all invited. The key is their shooters weren't afraid to pull the trigger on open looks, and it's a blowout right now.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on New York?
Their field goal percentage reminds me of Kenny's breath. Brutal. Not reading the defense, not getting enough quality looks. They need to make major changes because the system they ran in the first half was not working.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Blake Griffin in this game, he's been everywhere.
And through the first 2 quarters, he was extremely aggressive, picked up a number of steals.
He did a nice job reading their plays as they were developing. His anticipation was off the charts.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. The athletic front pair is Griffin and Drummond. Then it's Robinson, then there's Jackson, and it's Galloway in at the 2-guard spot. That's the group for Detroit right now. Griffin against Thomas. Yep, it counts. Thomas got the first basket of the third quarter for the Knicks. Jackson with it. Pass to Drummond. Down low. Outside for Jackson. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. That's 10 points for Reggie Jackson.
You love the balance from Reggie Jackson, generating more power in the catch and shoot.
Vonleh with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Fires from 18. Offensive rebound. Cantor. Second chance shot. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback. And sometimes it seems the age of interior scoring big men has come and gone. Enes Kanter, one of the rare big men who can dominate a game offensively in the paint, great hands, and the strength to create space.
Shooting one.
A free throw off from Cantor. And you talk about Kanter's inside game, but he's got a solid jump shot.
It looks very comfortable all the way out to 20 feet. I think before long we may see him add a three-point shot to his repertoire.
Here's Kanter following the bucket by the Pistons. Over in the corner, Lee. Back to Kanter. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Kanter's got 4 points now in the quarter.
A solid beginning to this second half offensively. 3 for 4 from the floor.
Here's Galloway, covered by Lee. Out of bounds, New York takes possession.
And a moment here to see the numbers for Ntilikina. Getting around 12 points a game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Backup point guard, always an important position, and he fills that role beautifully.
Without a good floor conductor coming off the bench, your offense can quickly grow stagnant. He solves that problem well.
Here's Lee. Softly drops in the floater.
Just crushing it here. 80% to start the half.
And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Pistons. They led the game at 1 point by 20. Griffin finds Jackson. Here's Galloway, covered by Lee. Puts it up from 12. Misses off the left iron.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Thomas passes to Vonleh. Lee outside. 11 feet away. Nice jump shot. Good. Lee's got his second bucket of the game to go.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Jackson kicks to Griffin. Feeds it to Drummond. No good on that one. Excellent D from Kanter. Thomas with the ball, and Griffin picks him up defensively. Here's Vonleh. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
That's his second.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
He's knocked down 3/4 of his foul shots this season, so he's right around 75%.
Two shot.
No good on the free throw. Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for the Pistons. And New York with a change here, too. Ron Baker, he's checked in for Thomas. And that trip coming up empty, missing both. Andre Drummond in his mid-20s. He's led the league in rebounding 3 consecutive seasons. And Greg, last season was his best one yet.
Really, I think, established himself as the franchise player for the Pistons. They'll go as far as he can take them. At the same time, though, I think the acquisition of Blake Griffin will only help to mature his game.
Here's Ntilikina. 8 points for him. Pass to Vonleh. Over in the corner, Lee. New York needs to get off a shot. New York, no good that time either. Pistons leading by 14. Jackson dishes to Griffin. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. And now it's 27 points for Blake Griffin. New York calls timeout.
Blake Griffin, an all-star for his first 5 seasons in the NBA, but not the last 3. He's still an impact player, though. We'll see if he can crack the roster in the East.
Big bodies and soft hands. Well, that's what these guys possess. The top assisting centers and power forwards this year. Blake Griffin is second.
And these are some of the most complete players in our league. I mean, they're not just traditional score and rebound big men. They can beat you with their passing as well.
Whether it's starting to break with a fantastic pass or kicking it out to a wide-open teammate, these fellas have a knack for passing the basketball.
And Enes Kanter picks up the foul. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Here's Drummond. No points in the game yet for him. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. And the Pistons lead by 18.
In attack mode inside, the best of Drummond comes out when he's being decisive.
Here's Ntilikina. 8 points for him. Down low, here's Griffin. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It goes on Noah Vonleh.
We know how strong Griffin is, but he has the ability also to adjust his body in midair to draw the contact.
And Smitty, Blake Griffin last season acquired by Detroit at mid-year. How do you like the fit for him with the Pistons?
You know, they needed a playmaker and a shot creator. Also gives them some star power, putting fans in the seats. That matters.
One shot.
Here's Ntilikina. Pass to Baker. Looking to end the run. Buries the long-range jumper. Baker's got 9. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Pistons. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. Outside Griffin. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
He has the ability to get hit, stay up in the air, and to finish the play. That's Blake Griffin.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one. And the Pistons making a change here. Smith has checked in. Then for the Knicks, Thomas comes in for Kanter. And Emmanuel Mudiay subbed in for Frank Ntilikina.
One shot, gentlemen.
You know, thinking back, Chauncey Billups once said, Griffin might be too nice of a guy, yet he's a league leader in technicals almost every season.
Knicks trail by 21. Here's Baker. He's got 9. Inside, Thomas kicks to Mudiay. Shot clock at 6. Shoots it up. Detroit with the rebound.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart.
And Griffin slams it in.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
That's what's extending this league. The right plays, right time, and good finishing.
And so it's New York with it after the basket by Detroit. And here's Vonleh. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Ball's knocked loose. Here's Bullock. Offensive rebound. Here's Baker. To the middle. Here's Mudiay. Good work defensively by Smith. Detroit with the ball. They're on a 12-3 run right now. Over Thomas. Griffin's shot is good. Griffin's got 37.
The more Blake Griffin gets comfortable at the mid-range, the more dynamic this offense becomes.
Vonleh, the pass to Lee. And Thomas has it in the corner. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Moutier. Back to Thomas. Count it. Thomas got 4 this quarter.
Great change of direction. He showed the defense that he was taking the look and instead found his teammate for an even better one.
Smith kicks to Griffin. To the paint. Here's Drummond. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Drummond's got his second basket of the game. Now here's Moutier. Not a lot of room. The pass to Vonleh. Here's Baker. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
It makes up for a lack of speed with just tremendous effort and hustle on that play.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
So for the Pistons, Pachulia, he's checked in for Drummond. And it's John Lure in for Blake Griffin. And then for New York, Hezonja, he's checked in for Lee. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Ron Baker. And it's Burke in for Moutier. New York's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Hezonja. That's short off the rim. Pistons leading by 23. Here's Galloway. Over Hardaway. Galloway, no good. And so it's Burke who brings up the ball for the Knicks. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that D can afford to give him.
Smith finds Lure. Offensive rebound. Pachulia. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket. Pachulia's got 7.
As you can imagine, this is where Zaza gets most of his points, right in that painted area.
Passes to Vonleh. To the middle. And the dunk by Vonleh.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets, an exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk. And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here's Pachulia. He's got 7. Smith inside. Vonleh on him. The shot's good from Smith. Smith's got his first basket of the night.
Unafraid to take it inside. Ish challenging the defender. Comes out a winner.
Back to Burke. Pass to Hezonja. He dishes it to Vonleh. Over Pachulia. Here's Thomas. Makes it off the glass. Thomas got his 3rd basket of the night.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
You know, there is nothing more frustrating than that. Giving up points on a possession, you won.
Here's Galloway. Kicks it to Lure. Pass to Smith. Over Vonleh. Smith, no good.
The defender took away the airspace, crowded him. That changed the shot.
To the paint. Here's Hezonja. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Hardaway. 7 points in the game.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Here's Galloway. He's guarded by Thomas. Pachulia, no luck. Knicks trail by 18. Outside Hardaway. The pass to Hezonja. Lets a floater go, and it's good on the layup. Hezonja's got 9.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Smith kicks to Lure. Passes it to Galloway. And it's Bullock in the corner. For the 3. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game, now 6 for 10.
I can't understand in the midst of a game you leave an elite shooter this wide open.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. And there's the call on Pachulia. That is his first foul of the game. Robinson's checked in for the Pistons. Reggie Jackson comes in for Langston Galloway. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Cantor's checked in. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. The 3-ball. Hazanya's shot is off. In the corner, it's Robinson. Here's Burke. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. The Knicks shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
At the line for 2.
And that one falls for Burke. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. Now here's Jackson. Off target with that shot. And so it's the Detroit Pistons holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
You know, it takes good vision and it takes good decision making right there. He showed both, and he did so at a very high level.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. And on the floor for New York here in the fourth, we've got Mario Hezonja. Burke is out there with Tim Hardaway Jr. Then it's Enes Kanter, and it's Thomas in at the 4 slot. Now here is Hardaway. 6 on the shot clock, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Hardaway. Detroit leading by 18. Outside Jackson. Smith with a wide open look. Off target from 3-point range.
And you know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
And that one's good. Burke.
How about that move? Is this guy special or what? Just love watching him operate inside.
Then Pachulia with the dunk.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
Outside Thomas. He kicks it to Kanter. Hardaway with a wide open look. And the 3 off target. Detroit's gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%. 7 of 13 on threes. Back to Robinson. To the middle, stolen by Thomas. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. And Hazanja gets it to go.
I love how he's been more patient in this second half, shooting only the shots he feels he can make.
With the teardrop and the basket by Jackson. And the Pistons lead by 16.
If you play Reggie to take it all the way, this is what he can do. Quick floater over the top.
Now the feed to Thomas. And then Thomas with the dunk.
And cutting into the lead with the big one-hand throwdown.
That's how you get your team back into it. Smith inside, Burke covering. The 9-foot shot. And there's another one for the Pistons. Knicks trail by 16. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Hardaway, that's a two-pointer. And that one hits back iron.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Smith's shot is good.
After putting up zeros in the first half, he is making up for it big time now.
Now, here's Burke. Outside Hardaway. That three off the mark.
You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
Robinson passes to Smith, and it's Hezonja with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Griffin's checked in for John Lure. And then for New York, Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Mario Hezonja. And it's Ntilikina in for Trey Burke. Now Robinson. And Robinson throws it down.
And textbook. I mean, that move to the lane, you got to tip your hat on that one.
Well said, Greg. And Clark with some major elevation on the slam. A chance here to get a quick injury report.
Hey, guys, the head athletic trainer for the Knicks gave us some information. After taking a look, he informed me that it doesn't look too bad. That is such a tough blow to take at the early stage of this season. Hopefully, with it being early, he can recover and help this team down the road. Kevin?
Okay, Dave, thanks. Sounds like he won't be out for too long. Here's Griffin after Enes Kanter's basket. And the layup's good off the glass. Griffin's got 39.
I love the play call, and Blake with the strength, but also the touch to dominate inside.
Kanter kicks to Lee. Back to Kanter. On the wing, Lee, guarded by Robinson. 5 on the clock. Here's Hardaway. Detroit with the rebound. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Griffin with the steal. Lays it up off the glass. Griffin's got 16 here in the second half.
Well, the pace, the big plays they're making, this is a statement run right here.
Hard to remember the last time they've missed. These guys are having fun right now.
And the Knicks miss again.
And you just get the sense the whole period he's been a bit out of sync.
Yep, trying to shoot himself back into this. Regain some confidence first.
Now, here is Robinson. Smith kicks to Griffin. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant one foul.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. The Knicks making a switch here. Longley's checked in. And the first one drops. When it comes to flagrant fouls, do you think the difference, Steve, between flagrant 1 and flagrant 2 is being called correctly for the most part?
I do, Kevin. I think we always have gray areas, and when you start to look at rules, but for the most part, I think they're getting the flagrant 1 and the flagrant 2. I think they're getting it right.
Drummond's checked in for the Pistons. Outside for Jackson. Back to Drummond. Thomas against Robinson. To the inside. Hardaway with the steal. Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Jackson. Ntilikina passes to Thomas. Vonleh at the elbow. In the corner, Hardaway with it. New York, no good that time either.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Here's Ntilikina. On the wing, Hardaway. Knocks it loose. Inside, out to Lee. 4 on the clock. They could use a bucket. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got 6 rebounds in the game. Right side, Jackson. 2 points. That one goes. Jackson's got 4 points this quarter.
Wow, he is lighting it up here in the second half.
Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Jackson. Thomas dishes to Lee. Hardaway against Robinson. Hardaway kicks to Thomas. No good on the triple. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Detroit Pistons. To the paint, Griffin. And Griffin slams it in.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, this lead has snowballed. Credit their killer instinct for piling on.
Now here's Lee. Thomas finds Lee. Back to Thomas, all alone. Tries again, and it's Lee getting it to go.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of look.
Detroit's gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%, 7 of 13 on threes. Jackson passes to Griffin. When we look, Steve, at big stats like double-doubles, triple-doubles, are we becoming too enamored with that versus how it might affect winning?
No, I think we're always going to have those double-doubles and triple-doubles. I just think right now when you look at it, so many more possessions in games. That's why we're having guys average a triple-double or having more double-doubles. But he also gives those guys credit. The game and those players, they're just better right now, and they're more equipped to be versatile. But I do think we still got to keep the emphasis on winning when a guy can get a triple-double in wins versus in losses or double-doubles or any kind of stats. I think that should be a category of his own.
No coverage that time.
I love the adjustments he's made here in the second half, getting the looks he wants now and shooting a much higher percentage.
Pass to Drummond, down low. A nice shot by Griffin. Griffin's got 48.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Ntilikina kicks to Thomas. The dish to Hardaway. The three-pointer, no good.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Outside, Griffin. Robinson against Hardaway. Robinson finds Drummond. Just 5 on the clock. Over Thomas. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Jackson. Thomas dishes to Hardaway. Knicks working now with a fresh shot clock. Pass to Lee. Kicks it to Vonleh. Here's Ntilikina. And what was that about? Not a good shot right there. Pistons leading by 23. Outside Jackson. The pass to Drummond. From down low. And that one drops.
The offense was firing on all cylinders, and that's the exact kind of shot they wanted.
Outside Thomas. And Vonleh has it in the corner. There's a minute 34 left in the game. Lee kicks to Vonleh. And the Knicks miss again. Detroit's gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%, 7 of 13 on threes.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Detroit.
And as one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Blake Griffin.
You know, as the game tonight evolved, he really put the team on his back. He was aggressive, effective, and the defense, they weren't able to adjust.
And this run may make the score look a little more acceptable, but still a loss.
They could never put it together when it mattered. Just let too many opportunities slip through their fingers.
And it's Drummond missing. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Ntilikina can't hit. And the Pistons with possession here. And so the Pistons can now just hold on to the ball. Outside Jackson. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Blake, very strong game offensively. What gave you the confidence to take over?
Just putting in the work, and my teammates honestly believing in me and telling me to be confident at the end of the game. So I owe a lot to them. They came up with big plays. Just everybody working together.
Very good win for you tonight, Blake. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.